The kibbutz, an extended and extensive family, an innovative lifestyle found only in Israel. Helping another is a common family tradition, but only at the kibbutz is mutual cooperation a way of life. Jewish pioneers attempt to establish a new and revolutionary lifestyle in the land of Israel. Equality instead of class differences. Collectivity in contrast to private property. No longer were the Jews to remain a nation of merchants and shopkeepers. Instead, they would work the land of Israel. The storm of revolution led these young dreamers to a new way of life and virtual abandonment of traditional Jewish values. The kibbutzim established by religious pioneers succeeded in combining both ancient and modern values within a single, highly original entity, a kibbutz hadati, the religious kibbutz. The religious kibbutz embodies working the soil and manual labor, together with prayer, Torah study, and strict observance of Jewish law, with emphasis upon human relations. The principle of Torah va'avodah, learning and labor, pervades all aspects of religious kibbutz life. Concern for all kibbutz members is expressed throughout their lives. Honoring the elderly is not a mere slogan at the religious kibbutz, where generations freely mingle in an atmosphere of mutual respect and admiration. Kibbutz work is not only an obligation, but also a great privilege for members of all ages. The older, veteran kibbutz members are well integrated in both social and economic life. Who but an experienced hand could offer this chick the attention it deserves? The religious kibbutz, like every Yiddish mama, devotes considerable resources and intensive thought to the education of its children, the leaders of the next generation. Even during periods of depression and poverty, still recalled from the not-so-distant past, the religious kibbutz invested vast efforts in the establishment of an extensive educational system, whose schools are outstanding for their unique style and original curricula. What are the goals of religious kibbutz education? Faith in God and observance of His commandments. Appreciation of nature and its beauty. National religious Zionism. Social and national involvement and full identification with the Jewish people and state of Israel. Mutual assistance and independent thinking. Notwithstanding the collective nature of kibbutz education, each child receives individual attention in accordance with his particular abilities and personality. Education at the religious kibbutz is comprehensive and broadening. Children acquire knowledge and experience in many fields, including art, music, science, sports, practical mechanics, and computers, and of course, Jewish studies and agriculture, the cornerstone of the religious kibbutz. Educators on a religious kibbutz face unique challenges, encouraging cooperation, but not conformity, ensuring equality, but maintaining a positive spirit of healthy competition, emphasizing the importance of the kibbutz way of life and its values, full concern and responsibility for the education of all kibbutz children. The kibbutz is an extended family which nonetheless preserves and values the importance of the individual family unit. The parents' homes constitute a key element in kibbutz life, complementing the educational program in which children spend most of their time. Children live at their parents' homes rather than in a cooperative children's house, thus ensuring further reinforcement of the family unit. At the religious kibbutz, children are always close to the eye and close to the heart. Amram Gilad, whose parents were among the founders of Kibbutz Ein Hanatziv, now serves as kibbutz construction coordinator, having headed several other branches of kibbutz activity in the past. Amram, a reserve officer in the Israel Defense Forces with extensive combat experience, is also responsible for ongoing security at his kibbutz. Kibbutz-born Michal is a child care worker. She had previously served as purchasing, then dining hall coordinator, and in various other positions. Michal has completed her work for the day and will spend the rest of her time with her children and family. The return of Jews to the soil, to tilling and working the land, can only be applied in the land of Israel. Attempts at settling Jews on foreign soil have always failed, for it is only in Israel that the Jew is inextricably bound to the soil by powerful emotional ties. Today's kibbutz members include the grandson of a shopkeeper from Bialystok and the son of an attorney from Frankfurt, the great-grandson of a wood merchant from Vilna, and the grandson of a Yemenite jeweler, the brother of a Wall Street stockbroker, and the sister of a professor at the University of Buenos Aires. Kibbutz agricultural achievements are phenomenal. Yields are among the world's highest. The welding of modern agriculture and ancient biblical commandments is unique to the religious kibbutz. Here, Sabbath observance is absolute, although technological progress and automation somewhat facilitate matters. "5 o'clock a.m. A cold winter morning in the Beit Shan Valley. Fish are sorted and returned to the ponds until just before Passover, when they are eagerly awaited by thousands of Israeli families. Sabra gefilte fish is born and raised right here at Kibbutz Sde Eliyahu. Initially, all kibbutzim were based upon agricultural work alone, in keeping with the concept of return to the soil. However, technological developments in Israel and the constant search for additional sources of income eventually led to the introduction of industry as well. Today, kibbutz industrial products, like their agricultural counterparts, are among the finest in the world. The wheels of industry could not crush the kibbutz's most important principle, the most valuable possession of all, the kibbutz member himself, who derives his status in society and personal well-being through his work. Yesterday, the man now operating this electronic lathe was plowing the fields. Tomorrow, he may well be teaching at school or leading an evening Torah study group at the kibbutz synagogue. No kibbutz member is exempt from participation on the various duty rosters: Toranut, guard duty, Shabbat and holiday livestock maintenance. Kibbutz members also enlist for seasonal harvesting and weeding, yet still find time for social activities, volunteer work at nearby settlements, and synagogue administration. Tuesday, 4 o'clock p.m. All three generations of the Blankenstein family join Grandma for cake and coffee. The commandment, honor thy father and thy mother, is fulfilled through daily contact in the dining hall, the synagogue, and in the open air, stressing the common bond and alleviating the sting of the generation gap. Grandpa Yitzchak and Grandma Rachel came here from Germany in 1933. Their children, Michal, Yael, and Hanan, are all kibbutz born. Michal married Eliezer, son of Grandpa Neftali Shafir. Judy, who came from the United States, married Hanan. Yael and her husband Gidon now live in Jerusalem. Jeff, an American Ulpan student, has been adopted by the Blankensteins. There are 17 grandchildren, and more on the way, with God's help. A fourth generation is now growing up at the kibbutz. Kfar Etzion in the Hebron Hills constitutes a landmark in religious kibbutz history. During the 1930s and the 1940s, religious kibbutzim in problematic border regions were involved in top-level national missions. 1948, the War of Independence. Religious kibbutzim are on the front lines in the Beit Shan Valley, the Gaza Strip, and the Etzion Block, heroically stopping the enemy's advance. In the course of the battle, several of these kibbutzim will be conquered. The fall of the Etzion Block is an epical story of the War of Independence, a guiding light for succeeding generations of fighters and pioneers. The War of Independence comes to an end. The state of Israel emerges victorious. The religious kibbutz movement lost half its kibbutzim. 5 kibbutzim were conquered and destroyed. The movement is hit hard, but not defeated. New kibbutzim are set up. Newly released prisoners of war reestablish settlements, their eyes ever turning toward that lone oak tree in the Etzion Block, visible from a distance far beyond the border, a symbol of their yearning to return and rebuild. The Six-Day War restores Kfar Etzion members to their rightful home, and the Hebron Hills block of religious kibbutzim, overlooking the route of the patriarchs, begins to flourish once again, fulfilling the biblical prophecy, "For thy children shall return unto their own border." Beit Rimon, a young kibbutz in the lower Galilee hills. Once again, kibbutz members confront the familiar difficulties involved in building a new society. Difficulties reinforced by contemporary developments in agriculture, crafts, and industry. These are the challenges of the kibbutz in the 1980s. Veteran kibbutzim offer manpower and assistance. Young families from veteran kibbutzim have joined Beit Rimon, as have kibbutz-oriented groups from all over Israel and the diaspora. And children aplenty, thank God. One of the primary manpower reserves of the religious kibbutz is the Nachal, the pioneering and fighting unit of the Israel Defense Forces. Nachal combines kibbutz work and settlement in border areas with active military service. Young men and women from religious kibbutzim serve as commanders and counselors in Nachal, helping to establish pre-settlement outposts.
Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, then I don't know when. We'll get together then.
How can young diaspora Jews learn more about Israel and the kibbutz? Members of the B'nai Akiva organization throughout the world come to the kibbutz for a year's training program, including both work and Jewish studies. Some remain in Israel at their host kibbutzim, but most return to their countries of origin, where they serve as B'nai Akiva counselors until their eventual immigration to Israel. The valuable experiences acquired during their training program will remain deep in their hearts and minds throughout their lives. Hebrew, she is not easy. Kibbutz Ulpan, an initial exposure to life in Israel and the kibbutz, and an opportunity to learn Hebrew. Even if you don't know much about the kibbutz or about Judaism, this is the place to learn. And all in Hebrew, a taste of Jewish life, a bit of Hebrew grammar, and a lot of information about Israel. The sounds of gladness and rejoicing. Individual and collective celebrations are one and the same at the religious kibbutz. When a kibbutz couple gets married, all members are in-laws and all children are best men and bridesmaids. The quality of kibbutz life is measured in terms of happiness. Kibbutz life embodies harmony with nature, communing with the landscape of one's homeland. The beauty and aesthetics of nature exert a powerful influence on kibbutz adults and children alike. Kibbutz life allows for expansion of horizons and pursuit of intellectual stimulation, hobbies, and self-fulfillment for all. The religious kibbutz yeshiva, an authentic combination of learning and labor, offers courses specially tailored to meet kibbutz needs. The faculty, made up of kibbutz members, strives to foster Torah study as a supreme kibbutz value, paralleling that of labor and production.
שיש לנו שתי משניות, אחת מוליכים לבית הכנסת והשנייה מוליכים להר הבית. ומתרצינן, מה תרצנו לפי הטבלה שלנו?
Special emphasis is placed upon commandments pertaining to the land of Israel, human relations, community development, and other relevant subjects. Who are the yeshiva's students? A young man recently discharged from extended military service. A youth about to be drafted. A former agricultural coordinator. And all other kibbutz members who yearn for intensive Torah study. The dining hall is the hub of kibbutz activity. Here, all members partake of their weekday and Shabbat meals. Daily meetings in the dining hall involve animated conversation, lively discussions, and heated political debates. General members' meetings and cultural events are held here as well. Waiters and dishwashers are selected from the duty roster. No member is exempt from taking his turn. Jews from Italy and France, from Germany and Poland, mingle with rough-hewn sabras in a large but united community. The religious kibbutz family. Jewish holidays are uniquely observed at the religious kibbutz. Here, Torah-observant farmers may truly identify with the holiday prayers, so closely linked with plowing, reaping, and harvesting. The religious kibbutz accords special significance to Independence Day. After the Nazi Holocaust in the ovens of Auschwitz, it has become a symbol of the redemption of Israel. The establishment of a national religious state of Israel and the ingathering of the exiles is expressed in prayers, ceremonies, assemblies, and holiday meals. The religious kibbutz movement, with the sanction of Israel's chief rabbis, has issued a special Independence Day prayer book. In the book of Psalms, King David enjoins us to rejoice with trembling. Indeed, there can be no rejoicing in Judaism which is not tempered with some measure of sadness. On the eve of Independence Day, we commemorate the heroes who fell in the battles of Israel, among whom were many religious kibbutz members. A love for the land and people of Israel. A society based upon equality and social justice. The combination of learning and labor. Of quality of life and individual concern. Of mutual assistance and self-fulfillment. Superb education and a long and healthy life. A modest and righteous lifestyle. A life devoted to service of God and one's fellow man. This integration of lofty principles, religious ideals, and their practical application truly render the religious kibbutz a unique experience in Jewish life.